Chapter 9. The Devil You Know. 7 months ago. Eleanor Van Horn crept down the maze of sterile hallways under perennial harvest. She stopped in front of the large steel door marked Deep Engineering. No turning back now. She raised a trembling hand. The stolen keycard worked as promised, and the door buzzed open with mechanical efficiency. She was immediately hit with the smell of disinfectant.
Well, this story keeps taking twists and turns, and man, I'm here for it.
It was some sort of laboratory. In one corner was a desk covered in papers. Across the room stood a tall metal pod with hoses protruding from its base. She rushed to the desk and began shifting through the piles of papers. They were experiment reports on something called Tempus Liquamen. There were dozens of them, every one stamped failed. Eleanor heard the sharp echo of footsteps approaching. She was out of time. Her eyes scanned the room, eventually landing on the strange pod. Muttering a curse under her breath, she dashed over and dove inside.
And that is what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I am tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? This man is a liar. Excuse me? I will not. This town has a dangerous secret, and perennial harvest only exists to keep it hidden. Nonsense. They picked up the whole damn town and moved it right under our noses. You aren't making any sense, dear.
Mr. Kerr addressed the crowd with a sarcastic tone.
Imagine such a thing. It's absurd and just plain impossible. They promised they could fix the foul harvest. They told us they would clean this place up. We just had to leave town for a few days. But while they had us evacuated, Miss Hartford, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to... You're afraid of a lot of things, aren't you? You sniveling little worm. This is growing tiresome. A little help, please? Don't you all see? This festival is a sham. An excuse to have the whole town gather in one place. They're planning something awful. I don't know what, but these people are wicked. Don't listen to her. She has absolutely no proof. I am the proof. I'm Eleanor Van Horn.
Whispers filtered through the crowd.
Well, aren't you just sneaky as the dickens? We all knew Valentine's fertilizer was too good to be true. And now this whole town is paying the price. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry about this disruption. My associates will take this obviously disturbed woman somewhere comfortable so that she can get the help she needs. She's not the one who's disturbed. You two-timing clown. You all know there's something wrong with this town. It was just easier to look the other way. The truth is... That's quite enough, Mr. Nuncreed.
Torment dragged on Joseph Nuncreed's face.
Yes, sir. Take them away. No, I want them to see this. Ah, the ever tempestuous Eleanor Van Horn. You've been quite the thorn in my side. Like a weed that burrowed in where it doesn't belong. I must confess, you look dreadful.
He paused for a moment, plucking a piece of fuzz from his sweater and discarding it to the ground.
Consider yourself in rare company. You've managed to pull one over on me. It won't happen again. I knew you had some sort of plan to disrupt our little party. Spoiler alert. I think I know who this is. It would make a lot of sense. But alas, I expected something a bit more impressive than incoherent rambling. No matter, your failures are yours to bear. Mr. Kerr. Yes, sir? It's a shame it was cut short, but I thank you for that rousing oratory. I will take it from here. Yes, sir. Of course, sir. You have done quality work for me, William. You can look forward to the recompense we agreed upon.
Kerr gave a bow of deference.
Founder, you are most gracious.
Gasps rippled through the crowd.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket. In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
You can call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist. A hushed horror gripped the crowd. This is a story about change.
What? No. Ah, so you didn't see that coming. Good.
Sharper examined his new hands.
Well, this is quite the improvement. Everything looks so much smaller now. Eleanor was right about one thing. This festival was a ruse. I wanted you all to witness my glorious return with your own eyes. Why does everyone look so downtrodden? This is a celebration, people. Maybe it would help if we set the mood. Mr. Kerr, be a dear and reveal the sign. Ha! Wonderful.
Sharper choked out a crude squawk of a laugh. Frustrated grumbles sprinkled through the crowd.
Sharper, you malicious bastard. Malice. I'm glad you're back, so I can tell you to your face. What's up, Echo? You destroyed this town. We ain't gonna let you get away with it again. So this is not this is not the time for audience participation. Some assistance, Mr. Kerr.
William Kerr gave a subtle nod to the clipboards.
100% inspiring the furries. How you doing, Echo? Welcome in. I hope you're well. Echo, you're a VIP. Why don't you have a personal sound? I need you to give me a personal sound so I can add it for you. You coward. Does anyone else have something to contribute?
A helpless quiet settled over the crowd.
I thought so. Did you all truly believe you could be free of me? A town of complete and utter fools? You people should be celebrating my return. You're clearly lost without me. And that leads to me nicely to my children. Daddy. I gave you both the greatest gift a parent can give. The opportunity to improve yourselves in my absence. Squandered. To say I am disappointed would be an understatement. But silence, Augustus. An adult is speaking. I don't know which is worse, a son who is completely hopeless, or a daughter with such potential who inevitably lets me down. Eris, you fail me with admirable consistency. Thankfully, I was counting on it this time. Father, I have been wasting time, my dear. What have you accomplished? I was focused on cementing our legacy. Legacy? Who needs a legacy when you can just live forever? But what about, it's all right, kiddo. I'm afraid you suffer from a complete lack of imagination. There's just no helping it. Now then, where is Joseph? You didn't take the opportunity to slip off, did you? Ah, there he is. Everyone should give him a hand. None of this would have been possible without Joseph. I think you've said enough. Nonsense. The people deserve to know how helpful and loyal you've been. I only did what I did because he left me no choice. You always had a choice, Joseph. You were simply too weak to take it. No matter. Cheer up. You're about to be rich beyond your wildest dreams. You should follow Mr. Kerr's example. When I found him, he was in a sorrier state than any of you. An aging actor, desperate to recapture his youth. He played his part, and soon he'll be able to play the leading man again. Forever, in fact, if he remains loyal. That goes for all of you. Will those who haven't already frittered away my goodwill? Beacon Pines is mine again. And I am willing to share its spoils in exchange for absolute loyalty. Are you saying William Kerr was never in charge of Perennial Harvest? Ha! You think that puffed up blatherskite could have accomplished all this? Dawn, I suppose it's time for your big exclusive.
Sharper addressed the crowd with indignant pride. He'd planned this moment for so long that now, at the deed's fruition, it almost felt frivolous.
You see, I needed a figurehead to hold things down while I orchestrated my return. Someone to misdirect, lie, and bilk this town for a spell. So I invented William Kerr. Take your bow. You've earned it.
Mr. Kerr flourished a preposterously elaborate bow.
Patrick C. Montesquieu, thespian extraordinaire, at your service. Founder, I just want to thank you again for this opportunity. It truly was the role of a lifetime. Wait. So this Bill Kerr was a Pat C the whole time? Now that your secret is out in the open, what's to stop this town from rising up against you? Oh, that's the delicious part. Fear. That, thanks to our clipboards, I know what each and every person in this town fears most. And I will make those fears manifest for anyone who steps out of line. The choice is simple. I'm not afraid of you. Ha! The young hero. I've kept a keen eye on you, boy. You and your friends made a habit of disrupting my plans. What a pity. if things would have gone a bit differently, you might have had your moment of triumph. But that's fate for you. You can't do this. Oh, but I can. I have won. Never underestimate what a great man can do given time. And now, time is my plaything. Perhaps the most expensive thing I have ever bought. But well worth it. Ha!
Sharper coughed up one final laugh and cracked his knuckles.
Enough chit-chat. Let's go to work, shall we?
And so, Sharper set about remaking the town in his own image. The fertilizer factory soon reopened for business. Sales rose steadily as more and more farmers across the countryside began to swear by its miraculous properties. Beacon Pines became famous. A secretive town that, for the right price, shared its gifts with all. Gifts that became more and more necessary in a world where winters grew longer and longer. The end. This is wrong, but things are becoming clearer now. You can feel it, right? We can't let Sharper win. He might just be the key to this whole thing. Let's see.
So, this one. Luca peered up at Mr. Nuncrete's kind eyes warmed a stern face. There was a deeper emotion hiding beneath it all. It was subtle, but Luca could sense something eating away at him.
There was a malice lurking behind those eyes, like a trap ready to spring. Luca felt the weight of Nuncrete's hand on his shoulder. Something wasn't right. He didn't know why, but something was telling Luca to get out of there.
I just want this all to be over. Of course. I'm sure it will all work out soon enough. I should get going. I told Roxy I'd check for Rollo at the treehouse.
Luca twisted free of Nuncrete's grasp.
Of course. Luca, you know your dad and I were good friends back in the day. You can come to me with anything. Anything at all. He looked down and muttered in a gruff voice. Mama always told me my problems would look smaller once I grew up. But my problems always seemed to grow right along with me. Heavens, I sense big trouble ahead. The festival decorations are a bit humdrum. Now, if I were to throw a festival, it would be a thing to behold. I agree, this is all more than a little sad. It's worse than sad. It's boring. What if we did a little something to spice things up? I'm listening. You know the festival sign waiting to be unveiled? It would be a shame if someone...
The two scurried off, eagerly formulating a plan.
Identify yourself, please. Nellie Modeville. I work here now. I am unable to locate you on our staff roll. Oh, I don't officially start until tomorrow. Mr. Kerr said I could come in early tonight to get a few things done. Hold, please. Clearance authorized. Thank you. Our harvest awaits. So, that symbol there on perennial harvest. I had my suspicions a while back when we watched this video the first time.
We all know Beacon Pines is a great town. What you may not know is great towns grow from mighty roots. And that is why you cannot tell the story of Beacon Pines without telling the story of one Shopper Valentine. Young Shopper's keen intellect and strong moral fiber led to a grand
So at
vision.
the end of this,
A vision of a community dedicated to a better
there's
tomorrow.
a logo.
In his own words, a better tomorrow is within our grasp, but it requires a singular mind to harness it. Lucky for us, he decided to grow that vision here, in Beacon Pines. And how does one grow a better tomorrow? With fertilizer, of course. Valentine's Fertilizer Company became the lifeblood of a town yearning for purpose. But then tragedy struck, a scientific experiment gone wrong. An accident which took Shopper away from us far too soon. To this day, we struggle to pick up the pieces. But one foul harvest isn't enough to stop the people of Beacon Pines. The spirit of Shopper Valentine lives on. It lives in the hearts of everyone with a dream for a better tomorrow. Together, we will follow his example and grow a bountiful future.
It's that same symbol's
Paid for
there.
by the Valentine family and the Valentine Fertilizer Company Remembrance Fund.
Valentine family logo there. And then if we go back up here, perennial harvest photo symbol. Not quite the same, but really, really close. So that kind of tipped me off a while ago that there was something more about that than meets the eye. Hey, Jetson. Have you seen Rollo come this way by any chance? Afraid not. And as elusive as the fish is in this here pond. And I don't believe that I have any new... Nope, sure don't.
Luca gently baited first.
Rollo?
He aired a long holler into the woods.
Rollo! Rollo, wherever you are, I hope you're okay.
Luca felt his eyes getting heavy and plopped into the beanbag. He conceded to its lumpy embrace. Once again, Luca found himself in a vast black expanse. This time, he knew exactly where to go. He took a single confident step forward. The world flickered and pulsed. He found himself standing in front of the frigid air of a blazing campfire. The source. He plopped down cross-legged and gazed into the cold flame, waiting. Soon enough, the fire began to die out, popping sporadically, until all that was left was a single ember. Luca stood up and dusted himself off. He plucked the glowing ember from the cold ash, examined it, and slid it into his pocket. A keepsake. The voice of his father spoke behind him. "You made me proud, Buckaroo." Luca turned to face him. "Dad, what is this place?" A warm grin grew across his father's face. "A place where everything that has been and everything that could be all wait together." Luca found himself staring at his father's face, trying as hard as he could to memorize every single detail. Wait? For what? Another voice spoke out, as Luca's doppelganger stepped forward. That's up to you. Without knowing why, Luca began to weep. Is any of this real? Are you real? Luca's father bent down to smudge away a tear. Of course. I'm as real as the part of you that misses me. Luca turned to look at the older version of himself. And you? The doppelganger choked back tears. I'm as real as the part of you that's angry he's gone. Does that make sense? Through his tears, Luca laughed. I think so. His father pulled him in for an embrace. Time to go, buckaroo. Luca was startled from his dream by a banging on the floor.
Are you in there?
A commanding voice rumbled from below. Just as Luca sprang to lock the entry hatch, the door knocked open. Chapter 5. Dangers big and small. Luca stumbled back. He heard the rope ladder creak under significant weight. Keeping his eyes fixed on the hatch, he inched backward to the balcony. As his hand grasped the door handle, Luca froze. A large figure clumsily wriggled up through the hole.
Stop right there. Or I'll... Sheesh. I know it's dark and all, but I figured you'd recognize me. Who are you?
The large figure cocked its head inquisitively.
Stop now, or I'll clop you with a baseball bat. Whoa, 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 take it easy. Luca, you need to get your eyes checked. It's me, Rollo. Nice try, but I know you aren't Rollo. You're like one of his random uncles or something. Where is he? Uncle? Luca, quit messing around. It's me. If it's really you, prove it. Flaming chicken coop, Luca.
Luca's jaw dropped. He peered more closely at the man standing in front of him. Something about him was undeniably Rollo, only bigger, older, changed.
How? What happened to you? When I was running away, I ran into more people in those yellow suits. They grabbed me and dragged me away. What? Where did they take you? Dunno. They threw a bag over my head. It was cold and smelled like a swimming pool. I think it was an underground lab or something. They made my hands all big. Look.
Rollo proudly presented his hands to Luca.
Pretty sweet, right? I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick for a superpower. But beggars can't be choosers. Rollo, it wasn't just your hands. My feet, too? Dang. Paw just made me new shoes. Wait, Luca, why are you so small?
Luca moved to the side and pointed Rollo to his reflection in the balcony window.
What the?
His hands shot up to his face.
Holy Toledo! Rollo, what did they do to you? They made me drink some sort of green crud. Ew. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It kind of tasted like licorice. I passed out and woke up like this. And then I sort of smashed open my cage and escaped. Wow, you smashed open a cage? Kinda. At least I think I did. It's all a bit of a blur. They had you in a cage? Who are these people? I don't know who did this to you, but we're gonna fix it. Fix it? This is awesome! I'm just glad you're safe now. Luca, you don't need to worry about me. Sure, I got snatched, but look at it this way. I got snatched. I know where snatched people go. We may finally have a lead on what happened to your family. Maybe you're right. But this all seems dangerous. Danger? Ha!
Rollo shadowboxed a few jabs.
I'll take them all on. Hey, Phyllis, what's up?
With a yelp, Rollo dove behind Luca.
Ah! Take cover! Did I come at a bad time? Whoa, who the heck are you? This is Beck. Sorry. Something truly bizarre just happened. I need help. I didn't know where else to go. So you're just hanging out with your large adult friend? No. This is my buddy Rollo. This is your missing friend? One and the same. He seems a little old. I'll have you know, this was a recent development. What the heck does that mean? Oh, I'm sorry. You're the one who just showed up out of nowhere. So we'll be asking the questions here. That's fair. How did you find us? Your silly little treehouse? I think you mean our silly little mission control. I hate to break it to you, but your secret path isn't so secret. And I could hear your racket from a mile away. See, Luca, this is why we need to improve security around here. Not now, Rollo. Beck, you said something bizarre happened? Yeah, but...
She shot a nervous glance at Rollo.
Anything you can say around me, you can say around Rollo. This has been a weird day and all around, hasn't it? Yeah.
Beck's eyes narrowed.
Okay, so it all started when I made it back home. My first order of business was to try and salvage my hair. So I dyed it with some stuff from the chemistry set my mom gave me. Okay. Just need to play it cool and hope no one notices. Notices what? Oh, nothing. I was just... Come over here and let me have a look. Oh, honey, what in the world did you do to your hair? It just kind of felt like a change. This is going to take forever to grow out. You were the one who said that change was a good thing, right? I was talking about your mother's new job. I was talking about us moving. Well, I guess I took your lesson to heart.
Ilona tried to put on a smile.
Before I forget, I came up here to tell you that Nellie had to go to work. Tonight, her and Mr. Kerr decided it would be good for her to get some things done before tomorrow. That Kerr guy seems like kind of a grade A creep. Beck. He is. Him and his weird cult of personality. You are not going to ruin this job for Nellie. It means too much to her. Oh, I know exactly how much it means to her. It means enough to her to exile her daughter to this podunk town. This place sucks. The people are weird. You just don't know them yet. It's always cold. We're in the mountains. You'll get used to it. I can't even pick up a single decent radio station. It's all banjo music and farm reports. You know, I grew up in a town not that different from this one. Is that why you're better at talking to plants than people? Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're grounded. What? In the morning, I'll have Nellie come and see what we can do about fixing your hair. You need to look presentable for the festival. But not another peep.
She sighed, and after a moment, looked down at Beck sympathetically.
I know moving is hard, honey. But that doesn't mean you have to make yourself miserable all the time. Other people seem to have that covered for me. Oh, and if you decide to rebel by dyeing your hair more...
She flashed a sly grin and tousled Beck's hair.
I'll just shave it off for you. Think of how rebellious you'll look then. Very funny. Thank you. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Mom. Wait. First of all, this town does not suck. Second, you need help because you got grounded? No. I'm sorry you got in trouble. It's my fault your hair got screwed up in the first place. Don't worry about it. I actually kind of like this look. Great. We can get back to the story now? This next part is the important bit. I have this radio I upgraded with my mom, and I was too angry to sleep. So I tried to dial in something worth listening to. Mr. Kerr, are you there? Mr. Kerr? Yes, I'm busy. What is it? Apologies. I have the founder on the line. Patch him through immediately. One moment. Hello, sir. It's so nice to hear from you. Skip the pleasantries. What's your report on our new lead research of deep engineering? Nellie Modeville seems to be integrating nicely. At this very moment, she's working to help us meet our deadline. She offered to work overtime before I even had a chance to suggest it. Excellent. And you have faith that she's capable of finishing the work left by her predecessor? Her work must be complete before the festival. I will make sure she stays day and night until it's accomplished. Good. You know how I feel about loose ends. Yes, sir. Once she has finished the work, we need to make a determination regarding her long-term prospects in the company. Immediately, sir? I usually have more time to fully bring people into the fold. We are in the endgame, Bill. After your failures with Dr. Prescott, I can't afford to take any risks. Of course, sir. No loose ends, sir. Once she finishes the work, she will either leave the office completely committed to Perennial Harvest, or she won't leave at all. Perfect. Sir, if I might suggest, maybe we should delay just for a bit. Oh? It's just, we seem to be rushing to hit this festival deadline, and rushing into things has caused some issues in the past. I see. Please understand that I just want what's best for you. I'm entirely grateful for all that you've done for me. Bill, I'll make this very clear for you. I brought you in to make things run smoothly, not to have opinions. Of course, sir. Chin up, Bill. You're only a few days away from having everything you ever dreamed of. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Whoa. Yeah. Just so we're clear, when they said loose ends, they were talking about murder, right? Like actually killing someone? Capital murder?
Luca gave Rollo a quick elbow to the ribs.
Who is this founder? I was hoping you guys would know. Nah. As far as we know, Kerr is the top banana at Perennial Harvest. He sounded scared of this founder guy. So we have an even topper banana on the field? What the hell is your mom? What the hell is my mom caught up in? Has she talked much about the job? Not really. She said she was going to come in and continue to work as someone she respected. Luca, do you think that body at the warehouse was the person Beck's mom came to replace? That would make sense. Beck, it seems like Nellie's predecessor got, loose-ended. I'm getting that impression. Okay, so we need to get your mom out of this before the festival happens. That's 2 days away. Won't she just come home after work? The creep on the radio said they were going to hold her there until then. So if she's not coming out, we gotta go in and get her?
Beck flicked a large sheet of paper out of her pocket and slammed it on the floor.
Maybe this will help? You have blueprints? Well, it's really just a welcome map from my mom's PH orientation day. But it shows the layout. Sure looks like blueprints to me. Look, here's the reception area. There's a big room marked Founder's Office. It even has the exits marked. Guys. We have a deadline. We have an objective. We have blueprints. You realize what this is, right?
Rollo started to wiggle with excitement.
I think we're heisting. This is officially a heist.
Chapter 6. The Heist. They spent the night's end huddled around that small map, formulating a plan to infiltrate the headquarters of Perennial Harvest. It would be no small feat, a modern facility equipped with all manner of technology, not to mention the swarm of clipboards that would most certainly be scattered throughout. By the time the sun began to peek through the car window used as a makeshift balcony door, all were in agreement. This could just work. The final day before the festival would be used to prepare. They'd need to pool every resource at their disposal, pull every favor with a thread. Even enlist some unsavory characters around town with important tasks only they were suited for. Luckily, there was enough ill will and mistrust toward Perennial Harvest that alliances could be found at a bargain. Luca, Beck, and Rollo rubbed their eyes as they exited the treehouse. They hadn't slept at all that night. There was no time. The festival was to begin in one day, and they each had their assignments.
All right, quick recap. Rollo, you're going to talk to Roxy. Cordially. We'll let her and Fitz. Without her and Fitz, this whole thing could go bust. Me? Cordial is my middle name. Uh-huh. And how do you plan to explain your new...
He waved vaguely at Rollo's sizable figure.
Circumstance. Bah! She'll be so happy I'm alive, she won't even notice.
Beck snorted an involuntary giggle.
And Beck, you're sure Ilona won't just shoot this whole thing down when she hears it? She'll listen. Once she understands the danger Nellie is in, the danger we're all in, the plan will make sense. Okay. That leaves me with Jeff and then Iggy. How are you going to persuade them? I'll think of something.
They each looked at each other with sleepy confidence and nodded.
Well, Godspeed. Undaunted, he shook his head. Over? No. Endings are merely a state of mind. This doesn't end until I give up. Wow. I admire the conviction. But can he really pull through? Alright, where's everybody I'm looking for? You ever wondered why an agriculture company employs an army of survey takers? The clipboards? They say they're just trying to make us happy. Do they want to make us happy? Or just figure out what makes us happy? An important distinction. Guess Miss Fratelli is getting ready for the festival. Hey, Jeff.
What can I do for you?
Well, I know how much you hate perennial harvest.
Hate's a strong word.
Oh, sorry, I mean...
I didn't say it was the wrong word.
Gotcha. So we're gonna break into their headquarters, and I thought you might be able to help.
Jeff wheezed out a long snicker.
Heh. You see? I knew you kids were alright.
Great, so you'll help?
The joy in Jeff's face drained instantly.
Not a chance.
But
Give me one good reason I should risk my hide aiding and abetting you rascals.
Looking into the sullen eyes of his would-be accomplice, Luca blurted out the first word that came to mind.
Junk. Yeah, what of it? Sorry, Sonny, I got more junk than a king has copper. Ain't interested.
Luca wasn't ready to. He shouted out.
Yeah, it's all shit. Still ain't helping. Ain't that some shit? Heh. Fight. I've done enough fighting for one lifetime, and more than my share of losing. Time's come to hang up the gloves.
Jeff's brow perked up.
What'd you say?
go ahead and hide then.
Sensing some traction, Luca carried on with vigor.
Let a bunch of kids do what needs to be done. We're not afraid.
Jeff's scowl faded with a sigh.
Say what you will about old Jeff, and they all do. But you never hear him say, I hid for nothing.
One good stomp of the foot was all Jeff needed to drive his point home.
What was it you kids needed?
Some sort of disguise.
I got just the thing.
And while we're at it, that crate should come in handy.
This ain't gonna be free, you know. I'm thinking 5 bags of sour gob should cover it.
Put it on my tab.
Luca offered out his open hand to seal the deal. With a firm and dusty grip, Jeff reciprocated.
Done. Swing by first thing in the morning.
All right, where do we find the other two? Ah, convenient.
Oh, hey, Tish. Look who it is. Luca? Are you here to try to tickle us to death again?
Look, just hear me out.
Iggy raised an eyebrow suspiciously.
We're listening. Iggy, I know we've both been giant bags of shit to each other.
Iggy gave a reluctant shrug.
You're not wrong.
But lately, life has been kinda strange, you know?
Iggy considered the point.
Things have been weird around here. So I'm offering a truce and asking for your help. What do you say we break our hostilities, at least for now?
Well, we do like breaking things. Even if a truce means less breaking things.
What if I told you there was a way to have a truce and break stuff?
Well, go on.
I need you to cause a distraction so I can sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ.
A wild-eyed grin spread across Iggy's face.
My. Luca Van Horn, I'm impressed.
And after this is all done, maybe you and Tish can come hang out at the treehouse sometime.
Iggy glanced over to Tish, who nodded in agreement.
Fine. But not because we want to see your crappy treehouse. We just like to cause chaos.
With a quick nod, Luca was off.
Did you hear that, Tish?
Iggy gazed up at Tish with a smile.
He invited us to hang out at the treehouse.
A single tear ran down Tish's cheek.
I never expected this day to come. How wonderful.
Chapter 7. Into the Hive. A good heist requires preparation. And thorough preparation takes time, something they had precious little of. So far, everything was in order. Jeff, Iggy, and Tish all agreed to do their part. Beck radioed Luca that night with a simple and covert message. "We're locked and loaded on my end." And Rollo, after a lengthy confession, managed to persuade Roxy and Fitz to help. He stowed away in mission control for the night to avoid attracting attention. Rollo, being uniquely suited for the role, would be the first to breach perennial harvest. The outfit provided by Jeff wasn't perfect, but a convincing disguise is 10% wardrobe, 90% confidence. Rollo took a few vigorous breaths and shook out his arms.
Just stay calm, Rollo. You can do this.
Got your delivery here.
A delivery? I don't have anything in my notes about a delivery. One moment. I'm so sorry, but there's no delivery schedule for this morning.
Right.
He had to think quick.
That's because this goes directly to the founder. He asked that I keep that it be kept secret.
Rollo sighed, adjusting his tool belt.
You know how the founder can be. I suppose we can leave this one off the records. Our harvest awaits and such.
With a stroke of his mustache, Rollo proceeded into the Perennial Harvest headquarters.
Our harvest awaits. Package here for the founder. Oh, I didn't hear anything about... Yeah, this is a need-to-know kind of thing. I'll just
He
check.
stammered and flipped through the pages of his clipboard.
This goes directly to the founder. I don't have time to fill you in. Oh, I see. If you could just complete this
Rollo
form.
interrupted with urgency in his voice.
Every time with the forms. Look, if you want to explain to the founder why I'm late, well, it's your funeral. I'm sorry. What did you say your name was again?
Rollo panicked.
Our harvest awaits, sir. That's a restricted area. Excuse me, sir. Our harvest awaits. Ready to light this candle, Tish? Yep. Suck on this, perennial ham fist. What was
The
that?
distraction was enough for Rollo to regain his confidence.
Just open the damn door. I got a job to
The
do.
clipboard fumbled around in a frenzy.
I should check on that noise. Oh, come on. Just buzz me in already. Okay. Ha 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 ha. Phew. That was close. Our harvest awaits? Hey, I figure. When in doubt, stick with the classics. Well, that was a close one. But you pulled it off. Nice work, Rollo. Alright, everyone knows what to do. Yep, deep engineering is to the north. I'll go with Beck. In case she needs some muscle. I'll head east to the founder's office. You two be safe. That's odd. There's not even any cups for the water. Oh boy, this whole place is a maze. Solomon?
stopped in his tracks.
Luca? What are you doing here?
It's a long story.
Are you okay?
A veneer of confusion. His words rushed out dramatically.
No, I am most certainly not okay. Someone strange. People grabbed me and... Were they in hazmat suits? Yes, how did you know? They brought me here and I locked me up, and when they were distracted, I ran. Dang, okay, you should stick with me. We've got a plan.
Solomon's facade briefly faltered.
We? Yeah, Rollo and Beck are headed to deep engineering. Thank heavens you found me. We've got to get out of here. We can't just leave yet. But they'll catch us again. I gotta do something first. When you were running, did you happen to see a door marked Founder? Founder? Why are you looking for him? I'm not. I just need to get into that office. Now that you mention it, I did think I saw a door that said Founder. It was just down this way.
Luca happened to notice a plaque above the door.
Knocking comes with consequence. Oh, here it is. So it is. It's pretty lucky I ran into you, or else I might have missed it. Truly fortunate.
Luca tried the handle.
Locked.
Solomon leaned forward to examine the mechanism.
Regrettably, it seems to be some sort of electric lock. I don't see how we could possibly defeat a lock like that.
Luca smiled and looked at his watch.
Let's just wait a minute. Nice. I don't know what sort of funny business you're up to, but I like
She
it.
mimed a quick hat tip and ambled off with a whistle.
Howdy. Good afternoon.
The light on the keypad changed from red to green.
How'd you do that? It's good to have friends. Quick, let's get inside before someone spots us.
Luca switched on his walkie-talkie.
Rollo, I'm in. As expected, there's a control panel. Great timing. We're stuck at a locked door marked number 24601. Now you gotta get us through. What if someone catches us? We should get out of here. I'm not leaving my friends, Solomon.
On the computer screen, a green cursor blinked in a password field.
Surely you don't have a password to get around the password. Surely you don't have a way to get around the password.
Luca pecked out his best guess. Underground secrets. The screen blinked to life. Columns of green numbers glowed on a black background.
Hate when you get gifted a sub in a stream that I'm not in and I can't say thanks. Oh, I mean, you could always pop in and say thanks, but yeah, I get it. I understand. I've been there. Oh, man. How did you guess that? Oh, it's this absurd password Rollo heard when he was down here before. Aw, that makes it extra hard. It's funny how someone arrogant enough to call themselves the Founder uses such a basic password. Or they were thinking several moves ahead, not expecting anyone to guess something so simple. These villain types always end up outsmarting themselves.
Solomon's jaw clenched into a half smile.
Your powers of deduction are as impressive as your luck.
Luca quickly scanned the columns for number 24601.
Rollo, I think this should do it. Bingo, bango. Doors open. Luca, you never fail to impress. What is this slippery lout even doing down there? We have a friend whose mom is in trouble. We're here to get her out. I see. Okay, Luca. I think we're close. The next door's marked 13806.
Once again, Luca scrutinized the numbers on the screen. In that moment of distraction, Solomon reached forward and pressed a large red button.
Crap, we got company. Luca, must go faster. One sec, I can't think with all this noise.
He quickly skimmed the screen with his finger.
Here it is. 13806. Go, go, go. Curse these fumbling hands. My apologies, Luca. Don't beat yourself up. I know you're just trying to help. This game's a lot of fun. It's on Game Pass. Definitely recommend giving it a try. It's a very interesting story game. And very, very cool. Aw, man. No water cups? Rollo. Rollo, are you okay? Rollo, come in.
Mr. Kerr approached with a sneer and spoke into his walkie-talkie.
You can turn off the alarms. They're
With
trapped.
self-satisfaction, he called into the hallway.
That, my dears, is a dead end. Nowhere to run. Rollo, where are you? Are you okay? Yeah, I think we lost them. Making our way back to Nellie's office. Okay, you two rabble-rousers are coming with us. Nope. Make a break for it. Did that little shit just kick me? Don't just stand there after them. Okay, I think it worked. Roxy and Fitz have them on a wild goose chase. I'm having trouble following what just happened. Like I said, it's good to have friends. Rollo, how long do you think Roxy can distract them? How long can Roxy keep someone so pissed off they can't see straight? Let's just say we've got time. Entering Nellie's office now. Mom! Oh, honey, what did you do to your hair? I thought you'd be happy. I finally used the Young Chemist Lab Kit. You sure have a knack for making me incredibly proud in the most infuriating ways. We need to get you out of here. We? Who is your adult friend? Oh, I'm not an adult. Ever heard of a growth spurt? I had more of a growth spew. No, that's not possible.
Nellie leaned over to examine his teeth.
Substantial banding on the enamel of the molars consistent with Tempest liquamine exposure. Is that what you call the gunk they forced me to drink? You drank it? Oh no. They told me it was only being tested on plants. Oh, Beck, sweetie, I promise I didn't know. Mom, what the hell is going on at this place? I was brought here to work on a discovery of a lifetime. A novel chemical compound was discovered under Beacon Pines in a wellspring they called the Source. They named it Tempest liquamine. It pulls energy from its surroundings in order to fundamentally alter matter's relationship to time. It was the secret to Valentine's fertilizer. They harvested the source, infusing small amounts of Tempest liquamine into the product. It worked wonders, drastically accelerating plant growth. Right? Crops would be ready to harvest in a fraction of the time. But it led to complications. The foul harvest! Perennial Harvest came in to clean up the mess. They succeeded where Valentine failed. But Tempest Liquimine is rebellious. Rebellious? You can think of it as a manifestation of change itself. It's volatile by its very nature. So the more you try to force it to do a specific thing, the more it resists. Yes, I can relate to that. My role was to finish the work of my predecessor, Dr. Prescott, harnessing Tempest Liquimine to reliably manipulate an organism's age. Just imagine how many people we could feed. Mr. Kerr was very insistent that we achieve a successful result before today's festival. But you didn't, right?
Nellie sighed.
You know how much I love a good puzzle. I poured myself into the problem. It wasn't long until I discovered oddities in Dr. Prescott's notes. Oddities? They contained obvious errors, mistakes that someone in his reputation would never make. So I fixed them and now I get to replace my entire wardrobe. I really am truly sorry. Meh. These clothes were all hand-me-downs anyways. It sounds like Dr. Prescott is out, figured it out, got cold feet, and intentionally sabotaged his own work. I considered the possibility. I've sent a letter asking him to clarify his thinking. Mom, Dr. Prescott is dead. Kerr had him killed. What? I overheard them talking about it on the radio. It's why we gotta get you out of here. Now. Wait, the vial. I finally solved the chemical equation allowing direct control of aging. Mr. Kerr picked it up just before you came. All the more reason we gotta hightail it. Luca, we got Dr. Modewell heading your way now. Roger that. Be careful. All right, everything's on track. And what is your plan for escape? We'll go over everything when we get there. In the meantime, maybe we can dig up some info. Malice, 80 proof whiskey. Hard drink for a hard man. Wow, even his alcohol is arrogant.
Solomon muttered inaudibly.
We found a bottle of this in the lake. I should just smother you right now. What's that? I said I shouldn't bother you right now. Don't be silly, you're no bother at all. Let's see what else this bad boy has on it. Security system, time card logs, payroll. You know, for being so evil, this guy sure is boring.
Solomon once again muttered under his breath.
Just you wait. Huh? Oh, nothing.
Luca tugged on each of the cabinets.
Dang, this must be the good stuff. They're all locked. Perhaps he's not as careless as you suspected. It looks like the founder was helping Kerr plan the festival. Why would such a secretive leader be obsessed with a party? Only time will tell.
Luca held his hand up to the ashtray.
It's still warm. He must have been in here recently. Look, the chair has a booster seat. I'm really sorry you got dragged into this mess, Solomon. You needn't worry about me. Well, I feel bad either way. We're gonna get you out of this, I promise.
With a subtle, quivering lip, a smile crawled across Solomon's face. They heard the trampling of frantic footsteps from the hallway.
Lock it, lock it, lock it. Locked. That was close. When we left Nellie's office, it was swarming with clipboards. We barely got away. Did they follow you? Although, before we start tossing blame around, it is possible someone ordered a pizza? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Definitely not pizza. What now? Don't look at me. I'm officially retiring from the heisting business. We're so sorry for the inconvenience. We just have a few quick questions. Just let me think. Can someone watch the door? Of course. Everyone else, huddle up. Oops. I think this little caper has gone on long enough. Solomon, no. Hush now, child. The adults are speaking. Dr. Modewell. A brief reintroduction is in order. We've never met in person, but we have corresponded. You see, it was I who hired you. Solomon, the pathetic orphan child. The powerful and enigmatic founder. Sharper, the fallen progenitor who created this town. Perennial harvest, Valentine fertilizer, all connected by a single thread. Yours truly. But that's...
Her eyes searched the floor in thought. Solomon watched eagerly, waiting for the flicker of epiphany. With a sickened look, she peered into his soul.
Ah, yes. Now you've got it. Tempest Liquimine, you discovered how to reverse the process.
Solomon clapped with genuine delight.
Very good, Dr. Modewell. Very good. Though the discovery wasn't intentional.
Solomon glanced down, examining his youthful form.
And the effects went a little too far for my tastes. That's why you needed me to finish Dr. Prescott's work. Which you did admirably. Mr. Kerr, the vial, please.
Kerr presented it with a theatrical twirl of the hand.
May I present to you the eighth wonder of
Before he could finish, Rollo snatched the vial from Kerr's palm.
Wow, this stuff sounds pretty valuable. Be careful, you fool. You have no idea what you have in your hand. Actually, we do. You just did a whole evil villain monologue thingy about
Rollo
it.
Casually tossed the vial to Luca.
Gosh, maybe I'll have a
Luca
taste.
jiggled the vial mockingly.
Seize him! Luca, over here. Move another inch, and I smash
She
it.
held it tightly behind her back. Solomon sighed, speaking in crisp, measured syllables.
You have no plan. I'll smash it, I swear. Fine. Risk killing us all. Or, if you're lucky, nothing happens. Then what? We capture you and grant you much less
He
leniency.
pursed his lips with feigned sincerity.
But I give you my word. If you hand it over now, none of you will be harmed.
A deep uncertainty washed over Beck.
You're a smart girl, Beck. But there's no shame in being outwitted by someone smarter than you. We both know there is only one way this ends.
She looked to Nellie shakily. With a dispirited nod, Nellie sighed in defeat. Beck slowly approached Solomon.
That's a good girl. Beck, don't do it. We can't trust that jerk. I'm sorry, he's right.
With apprehension, Beck conceded. Solomon pocketed the vial and brushed off his shoulder with a sharp flick.
Mr. Kerr, you have allowed yourself to be humiliated by a group of children. Report to my office tomorrow for a performance review.
The blood drained from Kerr's face.
Of course, sir. But first, you have a speech to make. Trot out there and give me the introduction I deserve. And don't forget to smile. Yes, sir.
And to think, all of this thanks to the efforts of Mr. Van Horn.
I don't understand. How is this all because of me?
Ha! I said Mr. Van Horn, silly child. Dr. Walt Van Horn. Your father was always a thorn in my side. I offered him an opportunity to be a part of something great, but the fool was blinded by righteousness. He even broke into my laboratory in an attempt to sabotage my work.
Solomon shook his head with gratification.
But the universe has a funny way of correcting course. By meddling with a force he didn't understand, Walt showed me its true potential. As fate would have it, Luca, your father's dying act was to grant me eternal life.
A muffled applause resonated faintly through the walls.
Well, that's my cue. After the festivities and my subsequent ascension, I'll return to deal with you all. Until then, I suggest you use this time to reflect on the magnitude of your failure. You there, or you three, keep post outside the door.
Well, crap. I can't believe Beck sold us out like that. I'm not sure she had any other choice. So what now? What's the plan? I don't have one. Of course you do. You always have a plan. Rolo, you just need some time. Rolo, it's over. We lost.
Nellie was staring at the floor, deep in thought.
Sorry, Luca. Give me a minute to calm my mind. Hey. I'm sorry, Luca. I did what I had to do. I know. It's just, we were so close. I've got a feeling even eventually Solomon will get what's coming to him. Time wounds all heals. Well, time seems like less of an issue for him now. Luca, there's something you should know. After Mr. Kerr locked me in that office, I had nothing but time and curiosity. I poked around a bit, hoping to find a means of escape, but I found something else. A note hidden in a false drawer. What sort of note? Dr. Prescott must have sensed his time at perennial harvest was growing short. So he left behind a letter with the hope it would be found by his successor. It was a confession of sorts. He left it for me, but its contents, Luca, I think they were meant for you. What? Why? What did he say? It was an incident with your mother. Dr. Prescott found her in his lab with a stolen keycard. There was an accident. She had been exposed to extreme amounts of Tempest
The
liquamine.
color dropped from Luca's face.
Is she? She survived. Dr. Prescott decided to help her recover. He no longer trusted Perennial Harvest, so he kept her whereabouts a secret. Over time, your mother led him to reconsider the purpose of a scientific discovery. Science is often at the vanguard of change, but that doesn't mean it's always right. He realized that no one should have control over something as powerful as time itself. I now believe that's why he began to intentionally sabotage his own work. And it cost him his life. That's a reasonable conclusion.
Luca was overwhelmed with emotion.
But if she's alive, where's she been? Where is she now?
A sudden explosion sounded from the hull. Chapter 8. Comeuppance. Ears still ringing, Gran picked herself up off the ground. Through the dust and smoke, she looked over to see Mrs. Fratelli helping Hiram Tolliver to his feet. She'd had to beg, borrow, and steal to acquire those explosives. How many nights had she spent visualizing how she'd use them to make things right? And now, her one shot at destroying the source, that damned hole that swallowed so much of her life, was gone. Traded for this jagged hole in a wall and a foolhardy shot at rescuing Rollo. With Fratelli and Tolliver at her side, she stepped through. It was a strange feeling. The last time she'd stalked this maze of hallways, it was in a different body. They quickly rounded a corner to find a group of clipboards guarding a door. Something worth guarding is probably something worth seeing. She leapt forward, brandishing her cane. If her last chance at vengeance for things lost was truly gone, she would just have to fight to keep what she still had.
Gran, what are you doing here? Luca, what are you doing here? We were here to save Nellie. We're here to save Rollo. Hey, Miss Lucas Gran. That's awful nice of you. But I'm fine. Oh, no. What did they... Gran, there's no time to explain. We have to go now. Come on, everyone. We've got a party to crash.
They made their way out from deep within Perennial Harvest, just as Solomon finished up his speech.
Thankfully, we can dispense with the formalities from here on out.
Solomon pulled a glass vial from his pocket.
We gotta stop him.
In one smooth motion, he downed its contents. A triumphant smile grew across Solomon's lips.
No. Well, I guess that's it. We lost.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
With a mischievous look, Beck elbowed Luca. Remember when I had the vial behind my back? I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little junk.
Can't wait to see what the look on his face when he realizes he drank his own cigar ash. How did ashes get into the vial? It was pretty easy to mess with the vial when it was behind my back. Oh, that was sneaky. Well, it's a bad habit anyways. Pa always says bad habits are like 50-yard field goals. Huh? Hard to kick. Jesus. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Well, that's one way to kick a bad habit.
As the last of what was once Sharper Valentine wafted into the air, the crowd began to disperse, still numb from what they had just observed. Sharper Valentine was gone for good. His end would be a new beginning for Beacon Pines. A new chance to let go of the things they had lost and grab hold of a new future. The end. Well, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a bit gratifying. If that feels to you like a good note to end on, I won't stand in your way.
Well, I don't think that we can do any more downstream of where we currently are. But we can look at change and malice if you all would like to.
I might have tweaked his wonder potion with a little change.
Like pocket change? Your unlucky penny. Yeah, I plopped it in the vial when no one was looking. What's that gonna do? No idea. That's the beauty of science. Now we observe. You can all call me Sharper Valentine.
His body and face began to contort and expand as he disappeared into a belching green mist.
Holy crap, he's a baby? Yeah, but he's still Sharper, right? What he was no longer matters. This is an innocent child. I apologize for all the harm my father has caused
Eris
you.
awkwardly cradled the squirming child. She looked to her brother, her voice shaking with uncertainty.
Augustus, what do we do what Valentines always do. What must be done. I'll hurry home and prepare a crib for Father young Sharper. That would be a great help, thank
She
you.
looked back down at the infant with equal parts kindness and terror in her eyes. With a shake of her head, Eris addressed the crowd with a stern scowl.
Okay, everyone, the show is over. You may leave now.
Epilogue. Beacon Pine's coldest summer on record came and went without much fanfare. Folks shared what they had and none were left wanting. The new school year was ushered in by the falling leaves of autumn. After everything Luca, Rollo, and Beck had been through, middle school was bearable. The chill of winter didn't seem to bother people much. They kindled a hope for a better future in their hearts. When spring arrived, farmers planted their crops with a sense of joy and optimism. And as the dawn of the first day of summer came again, its light slowly spread through the shallow valley. It crept over the town square, across the river, past the neglected welcome sign, and came to rest on a young boy sleeping at dawn. His mind at peace, knowing he is here for a reason.
Rollo, are you up yet? Roger that. It's a beautiful day at Mission Control. You gonna swing by? Be there in a minute.